Hey everybody, how's it going? This is I don't always cover news in Galaxy of Heroes, but this is just one of those things where I kind of wanted to complain a little bit. Now we got the new raid announced, the attack on the Jedi Temple, and there's a lot of accessibility problems with it, and then a lot of kind of crazy pigeonholing, fitting square pegs, round holes. It just doesn't make sense. So the characters you can use are so new. We got new Bad Batch on my main account, which gets everything within like 2 or 3 months of it being farmable. So I'm like free to play, super end game, no barriers to entry. I don't have anything else to farm except new stuff. So I get that right away, and I'm almost a new Bad Batch. But that's my brand new, or my super old, top of the game, old account, large account, over 13 million GP. I'm gonna have that team, I guess, to use. My dark side clones are gonna take a while, so I won't have that. After that, Jedi Master Mace Windu, I won't have him for a long time, because I'll need Deepa Billaba, Jedi Temple Guard, and all these clones. Deepa Billaba just got announced, so she's not gonna be farmable for a couple months. Then it'll take a few more months to farm her. So, one, barely going to be ready at the time it starts. Two, a month or two after, I guess. 3, 4, 5 months after. And then I guess the fifth team we're supposed to use is, or fourth and fifth teams for now, is Keller and Beck lead with random crap Jedi, or Qui-Gon Jinn lead with random crap Jedi, or Luminara. I don't know. The hero bonuses. Jocasta Nu, Keller and Beck. Okay, so Keller and Beck will probably be the leader. But this is so inaccessible. Jocasta Nu, Conquest unit as well. Let's compare this to both Naboo and Speeder Bike. So the new forums are very hard to navigate, and the links to old forum posts don't even really exist, really. Like, you can't really get there. I don't know. It's very strange. So I'm going to be using SWGOH's filters for Battle for Naboo and Speeder Bike. Now, Battle for Naboo was way less accessible than Speeder Bike, but it still made a little bit more sense than Order 66, and it was still considerably more accessible. So right at the beginning, and right now, the 4 main teams are Queen Amidala, not very accessible, Conquest unit, but her whole team is non-Conquest units. It's Marquise. So just Conquest unit Marquise. Gungans. So that was the new legendary last year around the time. Jar Jar was already out at the time the raid came out. And I think some of the Gungans were farmable. So yeah, that was a legendary. But, well, actually, I got my Jar Jar shortly after the raid start, so it hadn't been that long. So he was already well in the works, so free to play could get that at some point. And then after that, we got a Luminara team and a Separatist team, both a Separatist Sith team, both of which included all only really old characters. So that was 2 viable teams, very old, very accessible, and it was requiring you to build up characters you don't usually care about, like Kit Fisto and Luminara, but it was still super accessible. Like, you could get them, you could participate. And then bringing up the rear, which, you know, to everyone before the raid, was the speculation didn't match the reality, because Keller and Beck, that team wasn't as good, but it was still accessible. People had it. So that was 3 out of 5 teams that people largely had in their hands already at the time the raid came out. Now let's move to Speeder Bike, and there was only like 2 less accessible teams. Speeder Bike. This is chock full. We had Leia, the new GL, who I didn't have immediately, but I got and was working on for a long time before it came out. But there is so much from this raid that everyone just had for a long time, and they had to build them up more, yes, to get to the higher tiers. They had to invest in them, but they had them. Han Solo, Chewbacca, Admiral Piet, C-3PO, Ewoks, you know. And with the rework, it was such a weird raid, but Akbar and Ewok Elder were amazing. And they are the easiest of the easy to gear up and to acquire their shards. We had Imperial Troopers too, all had been in the game a long time. It was mainly just Leia and her new Marquise and the marquees used to unlock her that were new for the raid. Go back to this. So this great announcement. All these quick hitters. The Battle for Naboo characters, they already had a lot of omissions that didn't make sense thematically. So if the logic was, okay, what exists at the time of the Phantom Menace, but what's not around, like Keller and Beck wasn't in the Phantom Menace, so, but why is he there? So that was some of the arguments. And then Anakin did exist, but we don't have Jedi Knight Anakin here. All kinds of stuff like that, like characters that might have made sense to have in, but weren't. We had to use, for the Separatist droids, we couldn't use Grievous because he wasn't actually there, and, you know, all kinds of complaints like that. But this, so Bad Batch existed at the time. These people did exist. They were in the galaxy at the time the temple was stormed, and at the time of Revenge of the Sith. But we can't even use OG Bad Batch. OG Bad Batch, it's all Kyrotech characters. It's not super free or old characters, like super easy to gear. It still takes investment to gear them. Why can't we use old Bad Batch? And why can't we use good Jedi? We don't even have Grandmaster Yoda or OG Mace. It doesn't make sense. It is so offensive to me. It's offensive. Like, it's so bad. Why can't we use Qui-Gon? Why can we use Qui-Gon? He's dead. Can't use Jedi Anakin. We can't use Galactic Legend Lord Vader, even though he's the leader for the clones. I don't like that decision. I don't think that makes sense any way you slice it. We're facing Lord Vader, but we're also going to use his dark side clones against the dark side clones. So why do we have to make sure you can't use Lord Vader here? Like, just let him shine. They're all I mean, yes, Grand Moff Tarkin reworked great. But let us use Lord Vader. We've had Lord Vader for a long time. Like, he is a GL. Not everyone has him. New players might be incentivized to build up Lord Vader for this if you just let us use it. Let us use new Bad Batch, or old Bad Batch, so we actually have a team. Let us use Lord Vader. Let us use good Jedi, Grandmaster Yoda, Mace. I'm sorry they were already in Battle for Naboo. But so is Luminara, Plo Koon, Qui-Gon, Shaak Ti. Like, all of this here, like, these are all, like, they have to be Jedi Vanguard, or they're Jedi Vanguard. I get it. But, like, why are you limiting, like, it's not just factions. Okay, the Jedi Vanguard, all-inclusive. Pirates, which I'll talk about in a second, that's going to be all-inclusive. Darkside Clone Troopers, all-inclusive. But then we have Empire, so there's an exception there. We let an Empire character in. Bad Batch, not all-inclusive for that, because that would leave original Bad Batch, and that people actually have. There is no there's some random crap Jedi that existing players have, or like have had opportunity to get. In like overall guilds, except for the super whale guilds, we don't have pirates yet. We have the SM-33 in Conquest right now. So we're like, the whole player base is missing like 1/5, probably the largest part of the raid. Why would this doesn't make sense? Everyone's going to take a huge reward cut, and on my main account I don't care as much, because when the raid comes around, I don't care as much about the rewards. I just have so much all on bottlenecked on or new shards for these characters that I need to get in the raid. Like, I want them anyway. That's not increasing motivation for me to get them. So it just doesn't make sense. Like a whole large swath of what you're allowed to use isn't there. I know if pirates aren't available at the start of the raid, when will pirates be available as the optimal full team? Like, that poses this as a question. Like, okay, like, they didn't ask the player base this. They just came up with this question themselves. Why are you... You can't do... You shouldn't... I guess you can, but you shouldn't just release a raid where a large swath of the functional teams for it are just not even in the game yet. Even if they're marquees, the most accessible new characters, aside from Conquest units, Legendaries, all that, Galactic Legends, marquees are the most accessible. But you have to wait months and months to be able to complete them, to actually use them. It'll be around for a year, so I guess towards the end, maybe non-super whale guilds will be able to get the higher crates that they were used to getting. I don't get it. They said it's going to take less time than Battle for Naboo and Speeder Bike, which is good, but Doesn't make sense. Why are like the only reason, like there's no legitimate ties of pirates to the storming of the Jedi Temple. There is nothing. Nothing. Other than that's the new faction they want to come out with. They know they're not going to get to a new raid. If they're doing raids every 6 months like they kind of started out doing with the crate raid, they probably would have come up with a raid that had pirates and it made sense. But now they know they're not going to do it for a year, so they're shoving in pirates. And just the pool of resources are just watered down. So I'm not going through everything. One tiny little positive is they made these new milestones more spread out and closer together. Like they added a new box between 3 and the old fourth one. Like this was a really big gap for Gilster Bridge. 22.5 million to 67. That was huge. Now it's 20.5 to 28.5 to 41. That's a much better gap bridging than we've had. But my main account, we are getting this. I don't know if we got it for the speeder bike, the second to last crate, but we've been getting this for Battle for Naboo. We are going to take a, probably not, I don't know even know if we'll get, well, I don't even know if we'll get this one, like to start. I mean, we'll work back up, but I don't know if this will be viable for like 6 or 7 months. It's just, this is icing out so many players. I think it's just going to build so much poor will. And I know the jaded response is that CG doesn't care, they only want money. That is absolutely not true. They don't only want money. Like, they have to get money to keep operating. They're a very successful business, but we don't have ads in the game. We don't have as many pop-ups as there are in other games. I think it's a very well-run game, but I do think they care about the player base. But it is an absolute mistake how this is being released with the characters allowed. Let us use OG Bad Batch. Let us use good clones. Like, that is not too much to ask. And another miss that could have helped ameliorate the crappy nature of all the old Jedi we're allowed to use. They did this crazy long rework to Ayla. There's so many different things. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clauses. 8 clauses in a single unique that they just slapped on in there. Or no, 7. Well, this is a kind of a limiting clause. But this is what I hate. I mean, lock some stuff behind this. Don't lock everything. At the start of the Battle of Jedi Master Mace Windows in the leader slot, and there are no other Jedi Vanguard attackers with a leader ability. This is so specific. This is completely shut off if you don't have Jedi Master Mace. And that would have helped if we were allowed to use some of that rework with the existing Jedi Vanguard. Maybe there'd be a second, a decent team that people have actually had for a while. I just think it's like a total mistake. Like, every raid has had some negatives when it started. Like, people didn't like with crate raid just the faction limiting, but at least you were allowed to use everything in those factions, and that was actually great for theory crafting. So the crate raid was actually pretty well built. Speeder bike, it was the easiest raid ever. It was so easy. It was like the full auto raid. It was strange, and I reacted negatively to it at first because it was just weird. It wasn't like Galaxy of Heroes. It was kind of like that rock paper scissors thing they came out with for the Rey and Kylo like legend events. But it was very easy, very accessible. Naboo has had its ups and downs. When they changed it and made that droid spam as dispel less, it was better. And this was not super free player friendly. Even longtime players, it was difficult. But it was just asking you to invest more in characters you had, and then try to get some new characters. This is just all new. It's I don't know. I'm repeating myself at this point, but I think a lot of people probably agree. It's just I don't like it. I'm looking forward to. I was kind of looking forward to the raid, but I love some of these comments down here. They also, I guess I can't glaze over this. They said there's going to be a Galactic Legend pirate. Galactic Legend pirate to be added later. I don't know who this could be. Who could it be? One person in the comments said the only person they could think of is Hondo, and this is super stretch. I agree. I mean, I don't know. We already have Jabba He's not really a pirate, but I mean, not sure. I think there's someone who was like, do you want people to be excited that they can't actually play? Excited for the oh man, are we meant to be excited about not being able to take part in the raid because the units you can use make no sense? I 100% agree. Excited about the new raid? Free to play, friendly, or low investment? New Bad Batch. Marquee Tunes farmable, yeah, at the tail end. Dark Side clones, not farmable. Pirates, not even in existence yet. I mean, I just think they should change this and garner some goodwill, add some actually accessible characters, because as it is right now, it's just completely icing everybody out. Pirate GL, I don't know what the heck that's going to be. All right, just sharing my thoughts, just throwing it out there. So thanks for watching. If you agree, leave it down below. If you think I'm in the wrong, also tell me why. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.